Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chord Dave, and today we're doing it live because it's Chord Dave Live number 121. Um, welcome, I guess. Lots of guitar stuff to talk about. The biggest news in the guitar community this week. You might not, I don't know if you know this yet, but I actually made a video this week. Yep, it wasn't going to happen, but I just pulled myself together last minute and made a video. If you're on Patreon or a YouTube member, you've seen it already, and it's probably your second favorite video of the year. But if you're not, you'll see it tomorrow, sometime, I think tomorrow afternoon, Irish time. Anyways, it's time for Chord Dave Live. Let's talk about guitars, music, and all kinds of things. But before we do, 10 p.m. Irish time means it's time to say hell yeah, and sláinte, and cheers, and all those kind of things. So there we go. Yeah, I've noticed the chat's kind of quiet tonight, so we do have this Q&A thing, which you should be seeing at the top of the chat box, I think. And it just says, let's see how this works. Got a question for me. So if you want to throw in some questions, I know there's a few questions in there, a couple of questions. I'll check it out in about half an hour, or if I hit the end of the, what do you call it? Chat, which I might do, I might not, who knows, but I'll try and hit on it regularly, pick a question and go from there. So if you have anything you want to ask me, anything at all, you can ask it. I don't necessarily have to answer every question, just in case Muddy decides to get trigger happy. But anyways, let's let's dive in. Of course, Scott Bogfoot was here nice and early. Good to see you, Scott. Hope all's good with you, sir. And Richard Virginia says, greetings, Dave. I miss you the last couple of weeks. I'm happy to be here today. Great to have you, Richard. Hope all is good with you. And Fister Roboto, always great to have you with us. Says, got a hot chalky milk at the ready. Now we wait for the guy with the beard shows up. Well, there you go. I'm here. The guy with the beard is here. I mean, I know I've mentioned this before. The beard might go away, guys. And if I do it, I'm going to do it in a charity shave off kind of way, like raising money to shave the beard, um, for some sort of, probably some sort of cancer charity. And it's getting closer and closer to me making the decision to do that. I'll give you a month's notice of it happening, and then the beard will be gone. We'll see. I don't know. I'm kind of afraid of doing it, but we'll try it. Maybe we'll see how it goes. Rob F is here. Says, hello, friends. Great to see you, Rob. Hope all is good, sir. Richard says, hello, boysenberries. That's a nice, that's a nice reference. I like that. And Rob says, out celebrating Mother's Day with beautiful wife. We'll catch the live stream tomorrow. Have a great weekend, Dave and friends. Awesome, Rob. Yeah, if you're in a part of the world that celebrates Mother's Day tomorrow, don't forget about it. Uh, Mother's Day here was in March, so we got that out of the way nice and early this year. It's weird. Mother's Day is always on a different day of the year between here and America. I don't know other places. But Father's Day, always on the same day around the world. I don't know why. It's weird. Those two are different. Anyways, Rob says, or Fister says to Rob, whose wife are you celebrating with, and have fun. There you go. I mean, that's the kind of questions, the hard hitting questions we need answered on this channel. And Scott Bogfoot rightly says, anyone new here, welcome. You'll have to subscribe. Wait a minute before you chat on the best chat on YouTube, and you can chat to us as well. It's all good. We have some great folks here. Make sure if it's your first Chord Dave live, or if you're just a little shy and you've been here for a few weeks, that you say hello to us tonight, and we'll say hello back. I promise you, nobody will bite unless you ask or hint at it nicely. Todd Moore is here. He says, hello all. Hello, Dave. I'll be nearby listening, doing some home repair. Just want to thank you all for the support I've received, playing a few songs and almost up to speed. So happy. That's great news, Todd. Absolutely brilliant. Sounds like you're up and about and getting back to yourself. So that's awesome, man. Glad to have you with us as always. And glad to know you're making such good progress. Yeah, that's awesome. So actually, you know what? Cheers to you, sir. And congratulations. Keep it up, sir. Let me see. We got Marsha's here, nice and early. Good stuff, Marsha. Great to see you. Happy Saturday, you say. And Fister says, not a big crowd yet. Isn't the chat more lively already around this time? It is. But you know, there's some big competition. Rick Beato went live not long ago. Marty Music always goes live about an hour before me, I think, or maybe half an hour before me. The Eurovision Song Contest is on. So, you know, That's a thing. The weather is nice in Ireland. That's probably why we haven't seen Tia. He's probably in a beer garden somewhere. And yeah, there's just so much choice that like Chord Dave is like fourth on the list, unfortunately. So there we go. Marcia says, who else thinks Muddy is totally going to make Dave regret trying the new way to submit a question? Okay, I had fun with it too, but just this once. Yes, definitely. Everything I do, Muddy makes me regret it. So, all in jest, of course. He's blaming me today for his indecision to buy a guitar. I don't know why it's my fault, but he didn't buy a guitar. Someone else bought it, and it's my fault. So yeah, I apologize. I could use words, but I won't. Al is here. Great to see you, Al. It's always nice to have you with us on the chat on a Saturday. Thanks for dropping by. Mar says, Fister, often yes, but there are slow days sometimes too. There are, and then Dave has to try and stretch every single question out, and he talks too much. So let's see how we go. But this part of the reason why we've made it a 90-minute show, so that it's a little bit easier on those nights, and we get everybody kind of mentioned at least once. Anyways, the other nights when it's too busy, I haven't figured out what to do with that yet, but we'll see how it goes. It's kind of a precursor or a preview of what it's going to be like when the channel has like 100,000 subscribers in 1,400 years, going by current estimates of growth on the channel. Al says, hey gang, I've missed some of the latest sessions. Has the subject of Don Henley lip syncing Desperado in concert for the last few years come up? As he also said, Wings of Pegasus brought proof of this. I did see that video. Well, as I say, see it. I saw the thumbnail many times. I got wasting a lot of impressions from him because I haven't. It's not something I'm massively interested in. I presume if I'm going to see a band where the guys are all over 70, that there's gonna be some auto tune at very least. There's gonna be some not miming as such. I mean that is a little bit surprising, but I just feel like they're not going to be 100% live for that thing. But as long as most of the show is authentic, sorry Gibson, then I do think it's okay. Um, they need a little bit of help. I don't know if I haven't seen the video, so I haven't seen the proof. I haven't seen exactly how bad it is or anything like that. And it would come down to how much I paid for tickets. Like I'm not paying €400 to go see ACDC this summer because I thought that was ridiculously expensive for a load of guys who were well past their best. Let's be honest. Great band, still way past their best in terms of live performances. But like, I'm not going to see them because I do feel like there will be moments where the show is enhanced, shall we say? And yeah, that's not cool. At the same time, I would just please, Axl Rose, get some fucking live auto tune because there's some songs you just can't do anymore, my friend. Live, others you do fantastically, but there's some you just can't do anymore. You're not. It's not 1991, my friend. It's not 1987 either. So you gotta take care of yourself, bro. But that's just my thing. But getting back to it, the whole Eagles thing, I think it's pretty tough. Like, I mean, isn't this also their like 14th farewell tour, something like that? So I think they're way past their best. They probably should have given it up by now, but they're doing one last round, and it's understandable. I think I wouldn't be super happy if I knew about it, but I'd go into the show just not think about it until after, and just try and enjoy myself at the show. Actually, if I found out the show was mine, I'd probably be angry. Mara says, I did a double take myself when I scrolled up. I was like, wait, that's not the same profile picture. I presume you miscounted one of the Richards. God damn it. Michael Watson's here. Great to see you. Michael says, hello, Dave. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing as best as I can, Michael. Sun is shining. It's all good. I mean, not at 10 p.m. tonight, but it's still, as it was a nice day. That always cheers you up. Marcia says, no, pal, I don't think anyone brought it up here yet. I'd actually love to understand why he's doing it. Is it just that one song? I mean, it's a tough song to sing from my recollection. Not that I sing it too often, but maybe he just needs a break in the show. Maybe he just needs a rest. And that's where he's found it. I don't know. Maybe he just can't hit the notes as well as he should be able to. Um, Let me see, where are we now? Can he not hit the notes and succumb to pressure of his iconic song sounding perfect, or is he doing entire concerts like that? That's a great question. I don't know. Presumably, it's in the answer to that question is in the video Wings of Pegasus put out. Hopefully so. Al also says if you can't sing or play anymore, it's time to sit back and spend the money. Yeah, it's not a bad shout. I mean, I don't think anyone was expecting the Eagles to go back out on the road again, or would be too disappointed. So I think it's just another round that was. I mean, it's welcome, fine, absolutely. People will enjoy their shows, but no one would have missed it if they didn't go out on tour this year. Fisher says, "Well, it would be weird to just sync one song in a set, but who can say?" That's true. Yeah, just just do lip syncing for one song. Everybody keep quiet. It's we don't let anyone know about this. Yeah, so I'm sure he's probably got a few songs. I mean, listen, bands have been using live autotune for years, and nobody really knew that they were doing it for a long time. And then it became a thing, and it's. I mean, backing tracks have been a thing as well. I mean, a lot of bands have been caught. Kiss were caught out with backing tracks. Motley Crue as well. Lots of bands use them, and you don't in live settings you don't really notice them until the drums start playing and Tommy Lee's not behind the drum kit. So things like that will throw you off scent. But yeah, people aren't having a bad time because of that. I think at the show, that's the thing. They're recorded as if live. I think is what's been happening. Um, it is deceptive still. I mean, I get where it's coming from. Al makes a good point here. So he's already tuned down a whole step. If I'm going to spend several $100s or euros for a mediocre seat even, I want a live performance. And absolutely um that's a justified position on it, Al. Absolutely. I think, yeah, especially because concert tickets are getting so damn expensive. Like I mentioned, ACDC want 400 bucks. Like if 400 bucks, like you better be putting on a kick-ass show, putting all your energy into it. It better last 3 hours, and I would also like a share of the profits because that's crazy. Um, I mean, maybe not that. My uncle had quite a rude saying about pricing of concert tickets years ago when someone told him how much tickets to Diana Ross was. He said, I don't want to sleep with her. I just want to see her in concert. So there you go. I think they were like 50 quid at the time. So imagine what he thinks now. Visitor says, well, I'm afraid you'll be rather disappointed then, Al. Just signifying, I guess, that a lot of people use all kinds of different aids on live shows nowadays, yeah, especially the older bands. They definitely do. Al says, I even saw a video where Joe Walsh has a partial sync for the high notes. I guess this is how Henley gets a perfect performance. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I listen, like a lot of people, I love Joe Walsh. I think he's great. He's, as a guitar player, very underrated, particularly by today's youngsters. He doesn't come into the conversation of great guitarists enough. Um, but I saw him recently on TV on something. I think it might have been the Taylor Hawkins tribute. The dude didn't look like he was able to perform too well. I mean, he's doing his best. He's playing well, but it's like, dude, are you sure you know where you are? And like Joe's had his problems and everything down the years. So great, great, great guitarist. Probably needs that little bit of help when it comes to singing as well. So I look, it's one of those things. It's one of those things that's here to stay. I think all kinds of performers, they're up there and they're doing their best, but they need a lot of help to sound closer to their peak, which is long, long past. Um, yeah, try not to think about it if you go to any gigs. Marcia says, I fully agree, but I'm just curious if we have confirmation whether it's an entire concert or just one song, or any explanation from his camp. DMAC is here, says, hey all, good to see you, DMAC. Hope all's good with you, my friend. And Al says, so far, I only saw the video of him singing Desperado, which is a great song. And yeah, I haven't seen it, I haven't watched it. I've heard people talking about it. Saw a couple of conversations on some boards and stuff, but honestly, I don't think I'd be too fussed with an older band like that. Now, if like I don't know, who's a new band? One of those youngsters, like the guys in their 50s, if they started doing it, I'd be upset. If Pearl Jam started doing it, I'd be like, what's going on, lads? Uh, Fister says, the beard's not here yet. Shouldn't be long now. Guessing that was at the start of the show. It's about 18 minutes ago. Nice, nice. So we're trucking. We're trucking. Scott says, any new gear this week, guys? I'm still waiting on my DG335. It's been on a truck for a month. Where is this truck? Maybe it's going south. I don't know, but it does seem to be on the truck for a long time there, Scott. You might want to check in with someone and see if they can follow up on that for you. Steve Cassidy Guitars here says, evening, Dave and Guitar People's got a rare Saturday night off here. Great to see you, Steve. Hope you're well, man. Just caught the very tail end of your live stream the other night, and it was a lot of fun. But honestly, disappointed you didn't stay an extra 2 hours once you knew I was there. So, it's fine. I forgive you, but, just next time, if I pop in just as you're about to leave, you got to stay an extra 2 hours. Just kidding. Of course, loves to see you in the live stream, Matt, mate. Thanks very much. Martin Murray says, I got a Reverend Charger HB. Very, very cool. Marcia says, some people literally don't even care. They just want a group experience and don't care if it's being lip synced. I couldn't be one of those. Honestly, when I go to a gig, I drink some beers, I have some fun, I sing along with all the tunes, and I try to make the best of it. Regardless, I do definitely have a lot of good memories of that happening. And sometimes I can't even hear the singer because I'm singing with a group of people and it's those people that are louder. So yeah. Plus that happens when you go see Axl Rose singing these days. Muddy H2O with a super chat because he's a very generous young person. It says, back off of AC/DC. Not everyone can play Highway to Hell as good as Slash. Well, they should try, okay? They should get it right just like Slash does. There you go. You're correct on all those points you make. Anyways, Steve says hello, mate, to Scott Bugfoot. So they're mates now, apparently. Ryan Byrne is here. Great to see you, Ryan. Happy birthday, sir. Hope you had a lovely birthday. So you bought yourself a nice little guitar. Taylor, nice. Enjoy it. And yeah, happy birthday once again. I would sing you happy birthday, but you know the rules. I'm only allowed to sing happy birthday to Rosie, which I think is coming up soon. I have no recollection when Rosie's birthday is. Jess has to pop in and tell us. I think it's soon. And then I'll sing happy birthday to Rosie. But I'll just say it to you, sir. Happy birthday, Ryan. Glad to have you with us. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, thanks so much for coming in to join us. Ben Allmark's here. Great to see you, Ben. Hope all is good. Marcia says, if you watched Bon Jovi's doc, he said himself, if he can't fix his voice back to his own standard, he's hanging it up. I mean, he says that, but then someone says, hey, John, do you want to go on the road and make like $150 million? My voice ain't what it used to be, but yeah, okay. And that's what's happening with these bands. They're getting offers for huge amounts of money, so they are willing to do it. But yeah, it's you see videos of John Bon Jovi, and he's not as vocally proficient as he used to be. Fister says to Scott, nah, man, I'm saving for my Maybach. It's going to cost me a small fortune, so it'll be a while before I get anything else. And I just missed out on a vintage amp too. Well, the Maybach will be worth it. Colin has a video out this week with playing a Maybach, right? So this week he had a video with the Maybach? I think so. Looks pretty cool. And if you're not following Colin Guitaristas, you should be. So go and check out his video. Marcia T says, his legacy and the band's legacy means too much to doing anything less than killer live shows with his own amazing live vocals. My thoughts on this have actually changed in the recent past. And my thoughts on it are, who did I see talking? I think it was Bon Jovi. I saw talking about it. And he was like, when I'm gone, the songs will live on. And people will have memories of the shows they went to and stuff like that. But it won't matter whether it was good or bad on a particular night because the songs will live on. And I think that's more important. Like the songs, there are certain songs that will never die. That'll be on the radio forever. As long as there is radio, those songs will be on it. The Eagles are definitely within that group, as are AC/DC and Guns N' Roses and Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and I don't know, Jedward, who knows? But probably. But there's yeah, I don't. I mean, look, those guys are so rich; they probably don't care as long as they just just keep themselves as musicians and don't get involved in politics. I'm happy. I don't care. Just don't become Bono. That's all I'm saying. Eric Ludiger says, "Hey, all great to see you, Eric. Hope all is good with you, sir." Scott says, "That's cool too, Fister. Anything Maybach is pricey." And Marcia says, "By the way, more likes," which is nice. I appreciate that. Scott Steves says, "Hello, good to see you, Scott. Hope all is good with you." And where have we got? Marcia says, "Yay, Dave made a video." Love it. Dave did make a video, and Dave forgot how to make a video, and I'm not kidding. It's been that long since I actually made a video that I forgot to edit the photos that I was using beforehand. I forgot to take the background off them so they're nice and just popped in the background there. So they've got like a white background on them. I forgot a couple of other things as well, and when I was editing it and all that, I forgot a couple of basic steps. So yeah, it was about time. I was forgetting things, how to make videos. So it was about time to make another one. I wanted to make it Thursday, but it didn't happen because reasons. And then on Friday I made it, so it's up on Patreon and YouTube members already. And I didn't put it out today because it's been said before, if a video comes out just before the live stream, sometimes people think, oh, there's going to be no live stream. So I didn't want to scare people away. But here we are, live streaming. And you can look forward to a video tomorrow talking about Slash. I have a very, very fun Chris Derrig reference that you should all look out for. And if you've seen the video, you know what I'm talking about. And I still expect that comment in the comments section. Anyways, Richard Clark says, "Hey all, anyone see any lights last night?" I mean, I see lights every night, my friend. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. I didn't see them last night because I'd stay away from media. So I didn't know what was happening. And I tried to stay off social media a lot as well. So I didn't really see what was happening. And then last night, when I was already about to go to sleep, that's when I saw it, information on the Twitters. So maybe after live stream, when it should be about to happen, I will go out and see if I can see anything pink or purple in the sky. Probably be something that Muddy sent my way, unfortunately. So Glenn Bailey is here, says, "Hello, family. Great to see you, Glenn. Hope all is good with you, my friend." Ryan says, "I can't stay. I have to go out for dinner, but take care, everyone." Well, happy birthday, Ryan, and take care of yourself, sir. Hopefully, you heard me saying happy birthday to you. And Grandpa Joe says, "Greetings, Dave, Scott, Marsha, and all. Wishing everyone a happy and safe weekend." And the very same to you, Grandpa Joe. Always love seeing you in the chat with us. The Lowest says, "Oh, hi, Dave." Good. That was my best Tommy impression. Oh, hi, Dave. I know he says Mark, but thanks for dropping in, the Lowest. Great to see you. Scott says, "No, it snowed here last night." Does it always snow? It's May. It shouldn't be snowing. What's going on? Anyways, Glenn says, "Happy birthday, Ryan." There you go. Yes, so I knew I was calling out the right birthday, which is good. Let me see. Richard says, "I tried to use the question thing, but it didn't work. It was on my phone, though. I will try on a computer if I can next time." No worries, Richard. Pop in your question in the regular chat if you want. It's all good. And Glenn says, "And of course, hello, Dr. Evil Wrench." Some people were going to be like, "Who the hell is Dr. Evil Wrench?" But it's fine. We all know what's going on. Fister says, "Scott, maybe the truck with your epi got stuck in that snow. The driver is sacrificing life and limb to get your guitar to you as we speak." Yeah, I don't know. I've known some drivers. I doubt it. Marcia says, Richard Clark, "I did the question thing from an iPhone app. Works fine." Maybe it's just needs to be reloaded or something along those lines. Glenn says, "Yeah, the question thing is not working." There you go. I'm just testing it out tonight, so I know some people have been able to use it, so I'll dig into it in a few minutes and see. If it doesn't work for you guys, no worries. We'll just abandon it because it's a thing that I don't think is going to be very useful anyway, but we'll just see how it goes for tonight. Richard Virginia says, "Don't shave the beard." I think we're going to have a 50-50 split. 50% of people are be like, "Don't shave the beard. We don't want to see your face." And the other 50% are going to be like, "Do it." And then there's going to be like other individuals who are like, you should have shaved the beard 4 years ago. Uh, the beard is 4.5 years old now, by the way. So, yeah, definitely, something has to happen. No, I think it's a good thing. Like I always see people doing like things like head shaves for charity and stuff like that, and all kinds of crazy things. To grow a beard like this takes a long time. So I think if I'm trying to raise like I don't know like €1,000 for a charity, I think I could probably do that by shaving it. Just random strangers will like be like, okay, but you got to shave the beard. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. It's a possibility. I haven't agreed to anything yet, but part of me is like I've had this look for too long. I'm too inconspicuous. Everyone knows who I am. They're like, there's the beard guy. If I shave the beard, nobody will know who I am, and I can get away with all the crimes I used to do again. I mean, didn't do again. Um, so there we go. Marcia says, what kind of devices are you guys using? A browser or an app? Spoken like a true tech support professional, Marcia. that is that is what I like to see. It could be a beta feature by Google that doesn't work across the board, or maybe there's another explanation. I mean, yeah, YouTube sucks. That's the best one. Wayne McConnell is here. Great to see you, Wayne. Says, greetings, aliens. What about all of the people? Not all of them are aliens. But thanks, Wayne. Always love to see you in the chat, sir. Steve Cassidy, guitar, says, what's driving the beard removal decision? Mine's way shorter, but a bowl of soup can be a formidable opponent. Yes, that is an issue. And 5 days of the week, I have soup for lunch and have done for 4 years. So 5 years. Um, yeah, soup is an issue. Ice cream is an issue. Summer days, ice creams. You got to think about things a lot more than you should. Any foods, um, anything runny that you want to eat, any gravies, any kind of eggs or something, can be messy. Anyways, we'll it pisses me off a lot of let's be honest. Um, and I just wonder, maybe I could be even more attractive without the beard. It's possible. Money says in a super chat, keep beard equals stare at Dave's beard. Shave beard equals stare at Dave's cleavage. Vote wisely, please. Um, yeah, it's a good point. it's a good point. Well made, sir. Thanks, thanks for the super chat. Yeah, it does pop all the way down to the old cleavage area. So just be aware. Um, so stop looking at me like that. I'm not a piece of meat. Um, Scott says, if you get rid of the beard, you can't play Billy Gibbons in a made-for-TV movie. Damn it, Scott, you're right. Well, hey, maybe there's good things. Marcia said, or sorry, Fister says, Marcia, on a laptop that uses Chrome, the question worked for me. I accidentally asked the question when I meant to reply in chat. There you go. It works both ways. The Low says, nothing better than having a beard or a long hair to get caught in a guitar strap. Yeah, shirt buttons as well, jackets, anything. Doors. What else has it got caught in? All kinds of things. Steve Cassidy Guitar says, Eurovision's on. So guys got to go. We'll miss you, Steve, but I understand. It is a massacre of the senses. Fister says, Scott Bogford, I always thought the beard was an entirety an entity of its own, using Dave as a host. That is possible also. Uh, let's dig into the question thing, see what we got. I know there's a couple of questions in there from earlier. Let's see if I can find them. Will it show them to me? Maybe I'm having trouble with it. Oh, yeah, it doesn't. Oh, hang on. End Q&A. It's not showing me the questions. So I know there was some there earlier and I can't see them. All right. Thanks, YouTube. That's fantastic. That works like fucking shit. Anyways, one of the questions I know Todd asked was, where should Gibson open the next Gibson garage? And don't say Ireland, he said. And I'm afraid, sir. No, but, and this is, people will probably disagree with me. I think London was the wrong choice. And I'm going to back that up with this. Only because of Brexit and Britain being outside the EU now. Um, and it means that if I order a guitar, it can get held up in customs and all that sort of stuff when I order it from the UK. I can have to pay extra. Like, obviously, they do have things in place where, like, say if I order a guitar of Anderton's, they'll take off the VAT and they'll ship it to me without the tax and stuff, and it's fine. But still gets held up. They still assess it for tax in the at the border when it comes in, and then they send me a bill before they'll send me the guitar, and I have to pay that and all that sort of stuff. Just makes it a little bit more awkward and painful. I presume it's the same all over Europe if you're ordering stuff from the UK. At first, I used to keep, I just, because I used to buy stuff from the UK all the time. And at first, I put up with it. It was a bit of a pain, but what can you do? And even though they've tried to simplify it a little bit, it's still a big pain in the arse. So I try not to order stuff from the UK for that very reason. And I know a lot of people in Europe, the European Union, do the same thing. Um, so that's why I think they probably should have opened it in somewhere like Paris. Um, or Madrid or something like that. But London has a lot of historical rock and roll moments and um, uh, affinities and stuff like that. So it makes sense as well to have one in London. So, anyways, all that being said, the likelihood is if you're going to open one in, you have one in America, you have one in Europe. Next logical place for me is Japan. And there was rumors that they were going to open one in Japan a couple of years ago, and I wonder what happened to that. Apparently, they had already like found the location and everything for it. So I think Japan, Tokyo would be a great spot. They got a lot of competition, and they'd have to do a lot of cool stuff for it to work out there. So, I mean, Fender opened a place in Tokyo. Maybe that put Gibson off doing it a full garage thing. But it'd be nice to see them do that if they're gonna go for retail domination, which they should. Let me see. We got Glenn Bailey says, "Why don't you let Muddy buy a guitar? This seems to be a trend with you, Dave." I've been actually telling Muddy to buy every time he sends me a guitar. Now I'm like, "You should buy it, or go get it, or just fucking shut up and buy the guitar." But he then blames me for some reason, says that he can't buy one until I buy one. And you guys know the story. I tried to buy one; it's being held up. So technically, he could just shut up and buy a guitar, but no, I think he just likes driving me crazy about it. So I'm sure we'll find out in a few moments. Marcia says, "I love the beard. I just think it needs a trim by a few inches. How dare you? Might help to go to a beard barber to get it shaped. Also, how dare you? This might be a manscaping sponsor app. Manscaping don't want to sponsor me. Manscaped or whatever they're called. Yeah, they don't want to. I've asked them before and they're like, no, here's 10% off our products. So no, the beard being long isn't the problem. It's just and it's fine. I mean, it's as long as it is. And pretty much the inspiration for growing the beard was I met a guy who had like a really long beard. I was like, I wonder how long I can grow a beard. Uh, here we are. If we're this long. Anyways, it's just, it does become an annoyance after a certain while. Um, but anyway, well, since I shaved my head, I've always had the beard as well. So it's in like, hey, maybe it's time for a different look. I don't know. It's difficult. It's difficult to make that decision. We'll see. Larry D. Fox says, "Don't worry, Dave. A few people say everything is all my fault." Oh, Larry, I don't think anything's your fault, sir. But thanks so much for the support. Richard Clark says, "I use my hair for the guitar strap, just a ponytail on each side, hook it up to each peg." All right, man. Well, I'm happy for you and also a little bit jealous. Muddy says, "TCD shaves his toes." Listen, you keep my private information out of your mouth and your YouTube comments. But thank you, sir. That everyone needed to know all those things. Also, just in case anyone's unclear, Muddy does not have such information about me. At least I don't think he does. Where are we now? We lost a lot of chats because other stuff came in on top of them. There we go. There we go. Where was I in the chat? There we go. Number one says, "I'm here. The party can start." Good to see you, number one. Hope all's good, sir. Thank you so much for joining us and gracing us with your presence. Glenn says, do we have any 7-string players here? See, Ibanez has released a couple of 7-string, one being an Iceman. No, actually, I'd like someone to take away a string. Never mind. No, no, 6 is fine. 6 is fine. Fister says, manscaping. I thought he was talking about shaving his beard. Yeah, it's a good point. The lowest says, ACDC went downhill taking on Brian Johnson. I mean, initially, way back when, or just do you think he's a downgrade from Axl Rose? When Axl Rose was ACDC singer for a bit. James Severance here says, hey, Chord Dave, my Irish brother. Great to see you, James. Hope all's good with you, my friend. Let's see what we got. The lowest says, so you're saying people who notice the Eagles not going on tour are eagle-eyed. Yeah, that's a terrible joke. I appreciate it so much there. Well done, thank you. Marcia says, Fister, it's a hilarious brand that sells razors and other man products. Some of their sponsors, some of the people they sponsor make hilarious ads. But yeah, they flat out turned me down, and I think they told me to reply when I had a bigger channel way back. But there you go. Steve Cassidy Guitar says, the Cheeky Girls also used backing tracks. Wasn't a live band like many people thought. I am shocked. I'm shocked. I thought they played their own instruments, Steve, but there you go. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. My whole world has been rocked by that announcement. Scott Bogford says, the story of Nirvana on Top of the Pops was amazing. Anyone on Top of the Pops had to mime. So yeah, after at a certain point, they were like, yeah. So Nirvana decided to mock the process. I don't think they were the first to do it either. Um, but yeah, it's always fun. You can look that up on YouTube if you haven't seen it. Richard Clark says, no, you have to use your ears to notice that actually. Um, I'm not sure what we were listening to, but hopefully we noticed it. The lowest says, I've gone from 11s to 9s again, and now I'm just a happy camper. See, 9s make people happy. That's what I've been telling people for years, because I like them. Scott Bogba says, and write off the ticket as a YouTube business expense. Oh yeah, 100%. Anything music, entertainment, guitar, science, traveling related, all of those things are car repairs. That's YouTube related as well. Scott Brower says, oi, 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 which I believe is a colloquial greeting from his part of the world. Great to see you, Scott. Hope all is good, sir. Thanks so much for joining us. Always good to have you with us. The lowest says, I'm rather an older musician, just dropping the key to. I'd rather an older musician just dropping the key, to be honest. Sort of makes it sound more nostalgic for some reason to me. That's not a bad idea. And Glenn says, my friend saw Willie Nelson a while back and he had another player with him to trade off some of the duties, singing every fourth song and so on, and he enjoyed the show that way. That's good, Glenn. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, at least he's facing up to it and everybody knows what's going on. You're getting some Willie and you're getting some of the other guy. Just waiting for that to be clipped up. Glenn Bailey says, I saw Joe Walsh late 80s, almost fell off the stage. He was thrashed. Yeah, he was for a lot of the 80s. Still, I mean, what a musician, though. Scott says, if bands would just write new music as they get older that people actually want to hear, then the music would not be beyond their abilities. Interesting, Scott. So Bruce Springsteen is in Ireland this weekend doing gigs. And I don't follow Bruce Springsteen too closely. I'm not a massive fan. I couldn't tell you if they have a new album out or anything like that. But somebody I saw on Twitter said his show in Belfast was awful. Too many new songs, just play the hits. Like it was one of the worst gigs ever. And then normally when people go see Bruce Springsteen, they come out saying it was amazing, it was brilliant, it was wonderful, one of the best shows they've ever seen, all that sort of stuff. So I was a bit surprised. And I think that might be just a lot of bands, people go and want to see them play the big songs. A lot of acts, and they don't want to hear the newer stuff. And that's why they don't all do it. I know I went to see The Who a couple of times, and the place went from flipping crazy during the the well-known stuff to people just standing around looking like, what the hell is this, when they were playing off their stuff off their new record that nobody had listened to. Um, so we can understand why they don't, because they get no zero crowd interaction. Um, Also, Guns N' Roses, like people singing along, having a great time during the songs that everyone likes, and then certain Chinese democracy songs, people are like, Axel, would you just fuck off with this shit? Nobody wants it. So yeah, I can get why they don't do it. And Axel, if you're out there, stop playing a lot of the Chinese democracy stuff. Some of it's okay, but like, don't play the ones that are killing the ambience in the crowd. Anyways, number one says I saw Joe Walsh open for Tom Petty only a few months before Tom passed. Not sure how long it's been. 4 years. It certainly seems longer than that, but it probably is only 4 years. But definitely, that would have been a show to witness. Very cool indeed. Fister says, Scott, I missed the story of Nirvana. Kind of bummed out about the death of Steve Albini earlier this week. Their sound engineer. Yeah, a lot of people mentioning Steve this week. I didn't know too much about him until this week, to be quite honest with you, but I have read an awful lot of stuff this week about him. It's very sad that he's gone. All right, it's very sad how things go. That's life, you know. It sucks a lot of time. Richard Clark says at least Beato got a great interview with Albini not too long ago to get his side of the story on a lot of things. Yeah, that's true. Does a good interview, Rick Beato. Glenn Bailey says your guitar might be on the truck with those AJ guitars at Geek Lord's house. We've no proof that they're at Geek Lord's house. We just know that he can somehow manage to get one no matter what goes on. Uh, Fister says Scott Blackfoot, the man single-handedly shaped the sound of the 90s. One of the sound. There was many sounds of the 90s. But yeah, it definitely was a massively influential character indeed. Marcia says, that's interesting, Glenn. Never heard anyone do that. Must have been a friend from Willie Nelson and Friends. There you go. Matt Van Bosch is here, says, hi all, great to see you, Matt. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Always nice to see you there. Al says, now Dave, let's not be cynical. Sorry, Al. It's just sometimes it comes out. I don't mean it to. Just it doesn't can't help it. But thank you, sir, for the reminder. Glenn says, Marshall, yeah, they traded off songs. And he said Willie was able to do the full show full of energy. There you go. Richard says Bin Jovi songs will live on. He is pretty optimistic, guys. I mean, you know, there's always songs that have to be skipped in a playlist, and those will be Bon Jovi songs. Mark says, I don't think Bon Jovi would keep going. He said he's done well in life. He would have zero regrets. He knows the issues a few years ago, and the surgery is the last effort to save his voice. I'm telling you, someone's going to offer him too much money, and he's going to do it. They all do. Let me see. Matt says, that Maybach on Guitaristas this week is stunning. P90 and a Bigsby is all good. Indeed, Colin has some pretty good taste. Let's be honest. He knows what he's doing, and makes some cool videos. So glad you liked it very much. Glenn says to Fister, I'd rather see that than someone struggling for only doing half the time, or only doing half the time. I think it's a good thing. Mark says he doesn't need the money. He's got other businesses and investments. So I really believe at this time, if he feels it's not good enough anymore, I have no doubt he will walk. Marsha, I'm sorry, I forgot that you were employed to defend John Bon Jovi, but we'll wait and see. I feel like at some point he will do a tour when he's not able to deliver perfectly, and he'll use aids like auto tune and stuff like that, and it'll be fine. Most people won't know. So there we go. Larry D. Fox says, in the early 70s to mid 70s, I went to 35 concerts, $6 to $10 per show. I used to get $10 I used to think $10 was a little high. One of the few things that are good about getting old days better. Yeah, man, I remember saving up for my first concert ticket, and I think it was like £18 at the time. Because we had Irish punts was our currency, and it was 18 punts 50, I think, for a ticket, and I was saving for weeks, maybe months. I don't know. I had a job. I got paid $2.50 an hour No, it was before I had a job. So, because I was only 14 when I went to my first gig. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. It was definitely, it's definitely a lot cheaper than today's tickets. Um, Marcia says, sounds like what's keeping him trying to save his voice is the band, the roadies who've worked with him for years, fans who love live shows, etc. He said point blank, money for himself isn't a factor. Yeah, yeah, they all say that, and then they do stuff for money. So, if money didn't mean anything, he could give away everything, like all of the millions, except keep a couple of million for keep 5 million for yourself. You can sell everything, sell your catalog, give all the money to all the good charities. You don't have to have more than $5 million, but he will, and he won't uh, give it all away. So there's people say it's not about money, but then they also are like, yeah, but I'm still keeping my $300 million in the bank, so it's all good. So I know I shouldn't be cynical. I'm sorry, but there you go. Anyways, Scott says stops in late June and starts again in September some years. That's the snow where you live, sir. I will not live there any longer. That's not long enough without snow. Um, yeah, no good, man. Uh, Glenn says to Larry, I agree. I saw many shows in the 80s for under $15. Yeah, I see many concert flyers and posters and stuff for amazing bands, and they're like £2 or £6. It's like, what? How did they make money? But they did. They lived in big houses and everything, and had nice cars, and were able to buy Stratocasters and Gibson Les Pauls and stuff. Anyway, Scott Brower says I'm in hospital with atrial fibrillation. Any thoughts and prayers appreciated? Yes, all the best, Scott. That's rough. We will of course be thinking of you, keeping you in our thoughts. All the best to you, sir. Hopefully we can help you feel better. Um, who knows? That might be a thing. Marcia says I actually think that's the cool approach. You still got 90% live Willie with some breaks in between. But people are more understanding with 91-year-olds. Is Willie Nelson 91? That's crazy that he's still performing. Also, in Ireland, the word Willie is used to mean something else. So when you say you get 100% live Willie, people would be questioning you. Let's just say that. Scott says the beard will look good with a red mohawk. Thanks, Scott. Um, can the mohawk be like on the side here? Is that okay? Because it's not going to go up there. It just wouldn't work. It'd be patchy, to say the best. Um, Deloa says the bad thing about having a beard is that you get it stuck in a pencil sharpener. If I used a pencil sharpener, I absolutely would, sir. That is for sure. Fister says $15 to $30 is still the going rate to see live bands. I usually do about 1 to 2 shows a week. Yeah, it's the big boys who are charging stupid money, unfortunately. Mark says, "Hey Dave, I've told you I have 26 years of beta testing experience. That's how I report issues back to engineers. That's the basic you always provide." Absolutely. This honestly, I mean, 9 times out of 10, as you know, I work in the tech space. 9 times out of 10, the first thing you do is say, "What kind of device are you using? Have you turned it off and on again? Are you completely incompetent with computer technology?" Nine, and mostly the answer is yes. Uh, get well, Scott. We're all wishing you the best indeed, sir. That is true. Marcia says Dave sadly doesn't wear low-cut tees. Sadly, I don't know. I mean, I think I've been quite quite generous to you guys for not doing that. I think most people would appreciate that. Formerly known as T is here. Great to see you, T. Says, good evening. All just came home. Just came in on the shave the beard shit. Fuck that, man. From a long haired person with no beard, I say embrace the hair. I love you, T. I do. I love you, man. But no, I feel like you're just celebrating Chelsea winning a game for once a little bit too hard. Uh, no, I look. It's a thing. I don't know how else I would raise money for a charity, so it's one of the things that I've thought about doing. It's not set in stone yet. At some point, though, I will just turn up with no beard. That's going to happen. I don't know if it's this year or in 10 years, but at some point it will happen. But it's I don't know. I'm probably chicken out of it. It's just a thought right now. That's all. Don't worry about it yet. Let's see. Does that questioning thing working yet? No. Thanks, YouTube. Fucking idiots. So I will end it because there's no point having it there if I can't read the questions. So just at Chord Dave your questions if you want. Glenn says, I bet if he shaves, he will start wearing low cut tops. Who says I'm going to wear tops if I shave, Glenn? Let's be fair. Once there's nothing obstructing the view, let's just let it all out. Fister says, Muddy, staring at Dave's cleavage, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. Guys, you're going to make me blush. Maybe it'll go well with this t-shirt. I don't know. Marcia says, Muddy, have you tried the new free submit a question feature? He might have, but I couldn't see them, so sorry. Actually, oh, wait. No, it's not there. Oh well. But I know you're just trying to push him to see what happens. Richard says you can already get a side boob if Dave turns his head just right. All right, well, I'm just gonna do the rest of the show like this. All of the shows from now on are like this, which means I can read about 8 comments and that's it. Oh, Richard, come on. You shouldn't. You know that the rule is never let somebody know when you can see some side boob. Never, because they'll close the side boob door. Anyways, moving on before I get in too much trouble. Number 1 says thoughts and more thoughts. Get well soon, Scott Brower. Indeed. Richard Clark says Gibson can use my garage if they want. There you go. That's a good idea. Scott says next Gibson opening in Australia makes sense with shipping shit. Yeah, I mean Australia would be a good option too. There's a lot of cool guitarists down there. So yeah, they would love it, and I think it would go well. Put it in Melbourne probably. I think they're probably going to put it in Sydney, but Melbourne would be my choice because I went there. That was where I flew into. I flew out from Sydney, so I was in both cities. But I like Melbourne a lot. So yeah, just go there. Also, that's where my friends are from. So it'd give me even more reason to go back there. Mar says I also don't understand the London choice because of the Brexit thing. Gibson has had an HQ, a shop, a source in London for years, so they probably factored in. Is HQ still there, or did they convert it? I actually don't know. I think the Gibson Garage is their only presence in London now. They did have a showcase for a while, but I think it's I think it's gone. Um, but yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, London's great, isn't it? I mean, I've been the last time I was there was like 400 years ago for a funeral, so I didn't really enjoy it, but um, people love it. Like people go to London, they're like, it's so amazing. Whatever. So they got red buses. Who cares? Uh, no, I will probably go at some point to the Gibson Garage in London. It's one thing I want to do this year. So I'm sure you'll see a video about it if I do. Um, Let me see. Steve says, remember, Dave, you need fun picks for removing the beard at different stages. Take a strip out of the middle with for a beard fork, short beard, mutton chops, and tash. Just tash, Adolf tash, etc. Yeah, Steve, I'm actually thinking about that. I would have to do it. Trying to get some funny ideas. Because, yeah, why not? If you're removing a beard of this length, it's probably a once in a lifetime thing. So you got to have some fun with it for sure. I don't think I would regrow a beard for 4 years if I shaved it. But then again, um, I probably would. So we'll find out. Muddy says the deal was he buy a Les Paul, I buy a Les Paul. He's been screwing me for 2 months with his imaginary guitar. Don't listen to his lies. Listen to mine. That was the agreement because we were both. Neither of us are in the super big fan of Les Pauls camp. So we were talking about Les Pauls and sharing pictures of, hey, this is a nice Les Paul. This one might work. This one maybe. And I can't remember how we came to this conclusion, but it was like, well, if I buy one, you got to buy one, and that was it. And that was what was going to happen. I was going to buy a Les Paul this year, but then when the 345 appeared on Thomann, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to buy that instead. And Thomann are still being pricks. So, oh wait, Thomann are in a phase of sponsoring guitar YouTube channels. I shouldn't say anything, but they are being pricks. But please still sponsor me, you pricks. Uh, and also, can I have my guitar that I bought, please? Um, that'd be great. But yeah, listen, buddy, you can feel free to buy a Les Paul anytime you want. It's not contingent on anything I do. If I buy, my thought now is if I'm buying a guitar, you should buy a guitar. So there you go. Benny Larson's here. Great to see you, Benny. Hope all's good. So good evening, folks. I have a question to Chord Dave. Can you lift up your beard so we can see your cleavage? It's more of a request than a question, Benny. So I'll take it under consideration. But you know what? As it's you, just this one time, there you go. And it's probably the least flattering T-shirt because it's too big, but there's a second look for you. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. That's how much I value you. Uh, Eric Ainsley says, Steve Cassidy there. That's a great idea. In fact, he should do it live. Yeah, I mean, listen, I've got a YouTube channel and there's an audience here. So I should do it live. If I shave my beard, I should do it on YouTube or film it somehow, put it up on YouTube. So yeah, I definitely will. It's not definitely decided yet, but again, some stage at some point in the future, the beard will go. It could be next month, it could be next year, it could be 10 years. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Mars is right. It probably should be trimmed at least. Scott says I saw a guy long ago that had an incredibly long beard. I never once thought of it as a challenge. Were you drunk at the time, Scott? Because I was drunk at the time, and I think that's when it became a challenge. There you go. Jess is here. Great to see you, Jess. Says, Dave, keep the beard long. All right, fine. Jess tells me what to do, guys. I don't know if you noticed this. Jess tells me to do something, and I do it. But Jess, I don't know if you caught it earlier. It's Ryan's birthday today. I told him I couldn't sing happy birthday for him because I can only sing happy birthday to Rosie. It's soon. Rosie's birthday's soon, right? So you'll get to hear me singing that week. You just got to remind me that so I can prepare myself and I don't actually like take that week off. Because eventually I will take a week or two off from live streams as well over the summer. So just want to make sure it's not during Rosie's birthday. Glenn says it's not a lie if you keep saying it. It's the definition of a lie. It's a repeated lie, I should say. Fister says, what if Dave's ability to play guitars in his beard like Samson's hair? I mean, not much will be lost at that point. He'll probably recover it within 3 weeks of lessons. Just go on to martymusic.com and or Marty's YouTube channel. Everyone apparently learns from Marty these days, so that's what I'll do. It'll be fine. There you go. T says London is the capital of music. Great choice for having Gibson Garage there, but would love a European Gibson Garage. Can't buy Jack SH from the UK. Yeah, it's a pain in the arse buying stuff from the UK, so I agree with you. Muddy says keep the beard, shave the back for clarity and humanity. Well, thank you, sir, for the super chat. Amazingly, haven't got a hairy back, so just thanks though. Maybe if I ever do, I will take your suggestion in consideration, but for now we're all good. Richard Virginia says I believe Ibanez came out with a new headless model. Yeah, I think so too. I think they did. Marcia says yeah, that too, the music capital thing. Yeah, well, London's a spot where a lot of bands go to get signed. Same as they go to New York or LA or whatever, or to get noticed or whatever. Yeah, it's supposed to be. I mean, whatever. Glenn Bailey says to Muddy, isn't isn't that where Shakespeare said, "To thine self be true, till you lie about guitars"? Yeah, that's exactly what what he said. The lowest says, "I heard Manscaped ruins your guitar tone." I mean, yeah, yeah, sounds about right. I don't know if they won't sponsor me. It's definitely, um, it's definitely the case. Uh, Al says, "How about Gibson reducing prices? Remember, Les Pauls hit 31.99, then down to 29.99, and now they're 27.99. I know, Dave, it's not enough. Boo hoo hoo." Um, I haven't seen that, Al. I'm still seeing them at the same price, 31.99. So, are you seeing them at 27.99 and 29.99 everywhere? Although I was seeing like special editions at 31.99, and then seeing stuff like um the regular standards, and then you've got stuff like the faded standards are cheaper again. They're only like 24, 25.99. Um, but yeah, no, I have no problems with standards being that price. It's the things like Greenie being $50,000 and uh, all that sort of stuff. The cheapest Gibson now being 15.99 rather than whatever it was last year, 10.99. So things like that piss me off with their pricing. Um, but yeah, standards have always been more expensive. Uh, but look, if you're seeing them 27.99, that's good, awesome. Um, yeah, no problem with that. That's cool. Don't forget, I made a video not so long ago, actually probably long ago now, praising them for lowering their or putting out good quality lower priced Epiphones. So I don't always give out about Gibson, just 90% of the time. Glenn says Dave grabs that beard 15 to 20 times a show. My concern is if he shaves it, what will he be grabbing? Glenn, don't be hitting the counter when I touch my beard. All right, it is a reflex that I can't help. It's like one of those thing unconscious things. I do it a lot during the day too. Nella says, "Happy Saturday. Great to see you, Nella. Hope all's good with you, my friend." And T says, "If I was American, I'd vote for Willie faster than Joe or Donald." Uh, I mean, I think, yeah, Willie Nelson would unite people a lot faster than either of those two. There you go. That's the solution to all of the problems worldwide. Um, Matt Van Bosch says it's all about 10 to 48 for me. And, I mean, if that works for you, Matt, that's great. But yeah, I, I'll just stay with the Super Slinkies, man, which are 9 to 42 and they work perfect. So, yeah, yeah. It's because it just works. Just too much effort to even think about it for me. Number one says to T, pretty sure many people have been writing Willie's name on the ballot for decades. It'd be funny if that made him president one day. Someone should make a movie about that happening. Fister says that Glenn, maybe it's one of those fake beers that's attached to the glasses. Hey, shush. You're not supposed to know about that. Muddy says, who's buying the wallet friendly / 335 other than Dave, who we know is buying one in the hope / will sign his GNR Thong collection? Ah, sir, that is incorrect. You can't bring an entire collection to be signed, just one item. Um, but thanks for your suggestion. Of course, that is what my video is about tomorrow. Is Slash's 335 and explaining why he has a 335, because actually Ryan made a good point. Slash has played a concertina. Maybe Gibson will bring out one of those. Yeah, he's played. Gibson, number one, will slap someone's name on anything and try and sell it for more money. And number two, um, he has played a lot of guitars. But yeah, the Slash 335 is interesting. I did mention um, in the Facebook group that one of my people who gives me information about guitars and stuff sent me the publicity photo of Slash with the 335. It must be 6 weeks ago. I think it's at least 6 weeks ago, saying this is Slash's new signature model. And you guys know I've been saying on this live stream since last year that Slash was going to have non-Les Paul signature models coming out this year. I didn't expect the 335, to be honest. So when I got that picture And I was a little bit, I'll have to look into this and see. I was expecting an Explorer, honestly, um, to tell you the truth. So I was surprised when it actually dropped on Thursday, because I have been out of the loop of everything for the last couple of months, for you know why. So I haven't been keeping up. So when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, didn't I get sent that by that person? And I double checked and I did. So fingers on the pulse out there in the Chord Dave leaker community, which I appreciate. Um, but it was it was kind of crazy. I think it's a great guitar. I think it's very cool. Um, Muddy pointed out to me that there's a 1964 that's very similar. That's already was already available. So, and is not limited to 50. So you can buy them if you've got, I think, $8,000 lying around. So anyways, check out the video tomorrow if you haven't seen it yet, either on Patreon or YouTube members. Or you can sign up for your free trial of both of those and watch it now after the live stream if you want. Um, but yeah, I just bear in mind, I haven't made a video in a long time, so I forgot how to do it. I'll hopefully make another one next week. I also had some issues with my audio equipment and had to re-record it a second time, so it might not be perfect. Don't expect too much, is what I'm saying. Number one says Tom Collection. I'd be afraid to jam a slash up there personally. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Mister says, you mean string gauges? And yes, thankfully, let's just point out you were talking to Matt Van Bosch and not Muddy. Um, there, formerly known as T, says going to see Gilmore in Rome. I'm hoping he plays Floyd stuff as well as his own stuff. Either way, get to see Gilmore and first time in Rome. Very cool, T. Yeah, both things I would like to do. Go to Rome and see Gilmore play live. That'd be awesome. So enjoy that. Just a little bit jealous, to be honest. Glenn says, yeah, T, it's been a write-in for Frank Zappa and Willie for years. Um, Andrew Collins says, Vince Neil should retire. Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. You know. Isn't he making enough money on Cameo or whatever it is nowadays anyway? Um, Scott says, was there ever a Frank Zappa SG reissue? Yeah, there was, but it was expensive, I think, and it's very difficult to get. Colin from Guitaristas made his own. So just another reason to go and watch Colin on Guitaristas. It was a while ago now, but he got a good deal on an SG, and he made a Frank Zappa tribute. So go check that out over on Colin's channel if you have the time. Fisher says to T, that is going to be awesome. Gilmore's music is a staple in my playlists for tripping. Um, and number one says, I'm pretty sure Vince Neil is retired even when on the stage. Vince Neil is still alive. How, says Fister? Yeah, these are all valid questions. Glenn says, yeah, I want to yes that there was a Zappa SG. I might be wrong. No, I think you're right. Glenn, it's just a very limited one, I think. Um, wasn't there a very limited run of them years ago? The Roxy SG. That's right, Fister. That's what's called the Roxy SG. And Steve Cassidy Guitar says, would you rather see real Bon Jovi at his best or hologram concert Bon Jovi in his prime? This will be a realistic question in 2026. It will be a realistic question, Stephen. It's a great question. Um, yeah, because world tours will be happening on the same night. All these venues will be just hologram concerts. Uh, so yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Depends how good the technology is, but for me, it's all about the crowd experience, being there with your friends, singing along. It's great that, like, whoever is up on the stage, but you very rarely are interacting with that person. It's just more about the experience, really. But live music is something special. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, would I want to go to see Bon Jovi if they were playing in my back garden? Probably not. I've seen them already. Might go out, go to cinema or something while they're on. But if they were, if you went to see Bon Jovi and they were bad, which they couldn't be because Phil X is in the band, but if they were bad, I think it would be a lot more disappointing than seeing a good hologram concert. It's a great question, sir. We should dive into this sometime. Uh, on a joint stream or something. We should talk more about it because I think that's a great question. Um, I mean, it also means people will be able to go see like the Beatles in concert and stuff like that. Might be trickier for the hologram people, but I'm sure they'll figure it out. T says, question: speakers or headphones for music listening at home? It depends. It depends on listening to. So, from listening to Steel Panther, speakers turned up all the way. But if I'm listening to like Zeppelin, throw on the headphones, get the best audio I can out of it. Um, yeah, I don't know why that's showing a thumbs up. Nope, didn't do that. Um, Stupid computers. Great question though, T. I do spend a lot of time with my headphones on, so probably that. Um, I like speakers too. Mm. I have to think about that too a little bit more. You guys are coming up with the good questions. Muddy says, Scott, I know they made a version of Zappa's Roxy with a white headstock veneer. And Al says, boy, Dave's being cynical. There are those who love to play the music live when you think about it, with buses, trucks, equipment, venue. Top bands spend $1 million per show. They make a lot more money than that per show. I get you 100%. And listen, I did just call myself out on it. I was being a bit cynical, over the top cynical on it for sure. So I get where you're coming from there. But there is that point where, like, there's these people have more than enough money to last them, and they still go out because someone offers them even more. And it is sometimes they know they're not going to be able to perform as well as they used to be able to. And then there's others who don't go out and perform because they know they're past it, and that's it. And I think it's the way you've got to look at it. More difficult when someone's offering you like $100 million to do a gig, to do a tour, I'm sure, than me sitting here on a Saturday night saying whatever I'm saying. But yeah, probably was a bit too over the top cynical there. So apologies for that. But at the same time, I do kind of believe that that's a very strong motivator for people. Money is a very strong motivator for them going out when they know they shouldn't. Scott says, oh yeah, that's the one I was thinking of, the Roxy. Indeed. Willie is Keith Richards' great grandfather. I possibly, possibly. Philmer Hall says, great rock singers shouldn't need autotune live. Did you ever hear of Freddie Mercury needing AIDS? Well, Phil. Well, Phil, I appreciate it. Thanks for thanks for coming to the show. And yeah. Steve says, seriously, your mohawk would be an Apache. Yes. It'd be terrible. That's what it would be. Not only that. Atvo says, I'm looking at getting a Fender acoustic Paramount guitar because, oh, where is it gone? Where's that comment gone? Damn it. Fender Paramount. That's what I remember seeing from Advo. Because it may be cheap and all solid wood. Yeah, nice little parlor guitar. Advo, nothing wrong with it. So yeah, didn't. Wouldn't have a problem with that. T says, I didn't know Chelsea won. Again, blue is the color. Blue is not the color. Go away with that. Not for that. Scott says, side boob sounds like a Steel Panther tune. It's on the next album. We're working on it together because we're pals now since NAM last year. Glenn says, the question box is a good idea. I'm shy about asking where do babies come from in the live chat feed. Well, Glenn, Muddy's going to have to answer that question. So he's more mature than I am. He keeps telling me that. So yeah. Richard says, is there a Gibson garage in Japan? There isn't. My response was that it should be. That should be the next one. Fister says, we need to talk about the birds and the bees, mister. Number one says, Glenn, was Dave supposed to answer that? I mean, I have a PowerPoint presentation I could show you guys, but I don't think you want it. Avro says, so Indian Laurel is a name, also something Rosewood. another different name. Not quite sure. Is that for the Paramount? I'm not sure, sir. Glenn says, not familiar with that model, but I'm an enabler, so you should get that fender. Marsha was off making a snack, so there you go. Does Dave play the guitar? I haven't witnessed. Yeah, I do. There's videos of it online and everything. You can check it out on the channel. The most recent one was the Dave Grohl 335, I think, last year. I think that's the last time I played guitar on the channel. So if you want to look at that, you can see. Don't be expecting me to be fantastically skilled or anything, because I'll tell you right now, you'll be disappointed. The comments will will tell you that for the video too. Richard Clark says locks of love may take the beard. If not, Marcia says he's making a snack. I'm scared of people cloning me, so I don't want that. Advin says if it's a good price, then definitely. Who said no? Advin didn't say it. Glenn Bailey did. Deloa said Steve Sideboob does sound like a Steel Panther song. What other songs are there by that band? You know, every time, you know where your phone is listening to you or whatever. Every time we do a live stream, I get like images, not bad ones, but like jokey memes about that word. Or is it two words? Anyways, that one. So you know the one. Um Muddy says the truth is out and you all thought I was the bad guy, didn't you? You are a bad guy. What are you talking about? Advent says, how about never shaving the beard for charity? That works. That works. Benny says, it's 11 o'clock Irish time. Good stuff, Benny. Thank you so much for the update. I'm only 20 minutes behind then, so should be good. Scott says, do it in winter or you'll have a blindingly white face with suntanned face. I don't think it'll be too much of a problem in Ireland, Scott, to be honest. The sun came out yesterday and today, so I don't think I'm too far behind. Mark says, by the way, my birthday is nearly here, May 22nd. That gives you all a little time to send me a shiny new DG335 or even your crusty old unwanted gear. Make my 43rd special. Well, Marcia, we will think about it. But, you know, I believe Muddy is working on something for you, but we'll see. You know, just don't hold him to it because, you know, he often lets people down, but, you know. Fister says the lowest. Dave's side boob would either make a good name for a sludge metal band or an old-fashioned rebel-rousing country song. Indeed, indeed. Glenn says the beard goes, which comes out now. 3-Chord Dave live Saturday nights, 10 p.m. Irish time. New 3-Chord t-shirt design. I don't know. I don't know. Danoa says, what if Dave shaves his beard and it turns out it's only it's only an inch long and he just has a giant chin? Oh, hey, that's way too close to the truth, my friend. Jess says, just as I logged in, you were chatting about Rosie's birthday. It's 23rd of July. I can't believe I didn't get a happy birthday for my 40th. Apologies, Jess. I didn't know. So, did you tell me it was your 40th? Did you tell me it was your birthday? If you did, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's kind of the thing though. I can only sing happy birthday to Rosie. I don't sing happy birthday to anybody, so it's literally only Rosie. So there you go. But happy birthday, happy 40th to you. Thanks for celebrating it with us. There you go. Formerly known as T says you need to do a t-shirt saying the bearded one before shaving the beard. There you go. The bearded one t-shirt comes out, shave the beard the next week. Muddy says you heard it here. You all heard it. 3-Chord Dave nares his back. What does that mean? What does nares mean? Presume it means something rude. So I'm just gonna say I don't. But thanks. I'm not gonna look up any links if you send them to me. So don't do that. Glenn says, will you be shaving your toes also? No. Gibson has dropped prices this week, says Glenn. Oh, maybe that's what Al was talking about. That's great. It's about time. And yeah, fair play to them. If they're dropping prices, then that's awesome. Formerly known as T says, excuse the spelling. I've had several beers. All good, T. Don't ever worry about that. Not around here. We're all friends. Oh, Visitor says, "Yep, they dropped prices. Fair play to them. Yeah, it's worth shouting out. I'll look into it, and if I make a second video in a week, who knows? Fingers crossed. Maybe it'll be about that. But that'll be good. Yeah, if someone can send me some info on the price drops, some examples, that'd be super cool. Um, Paul Romo says Epiphone S335 or the Epiphone Sheraton Pro 2. Uh, Great question. If you're talking about the new Epiphone ES355, the inspired by Gibson custom one, I think that's the one to go for. But the Sheraton Pro 2 is a great guitar as well. Um, Both slightly different. So I would say 355. That's top of the pile when it comes to ES style guitars. So go with that one. But again, it's personal taste. But thanks for joining us, Paul. Appreciate it. Mer says, Eric, yeah, pedals are probably totally rad. I'd be an annoying dolt setting them to annoying just for kicks. There you go. Abdo says, are Gibson standard better than studios? It's, I mean, look, we'll cause debates by answering that question, but the reality is the studio was basically designed to be a stripped down version of the standard. So the standard should be better than it. But yeah, essentially standard existed, and then they were like, well, how do we make it cheaper? Let's make some cuts and call it a studio, and that's why the studio exists. So you'll notice it has stripped down features and not as many things. Like, I mean, there are studio pluses and stuff like that with flame tops and things like that, but usually most of the features will go into the standard and not into the studio. Um, or you, again, it depends on the year as well, because some runs in studios had other features or different colors, different finishes that were nicer. In fact, some people would tell you, and things like that. So studios are cheaper because they've cut corners. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. Okay. Standard have binding and other bling. Yes, that's true. Scott with the link to the positivity towards Epiphone and Gibson. Yeah, I applaud Gibson in that video too. So maybe I don't need to make a second video applauding them for price cuts. Who knows? Legend has it the first pedal was invented by a project to annoy family and friends. Then someone discovered you can make actual music with them. That sounds like an urban myth, but it's probably true. Eric number one says somebody suggested in a video recently that signature instruments are becoming promos for projects. For example, the Slash Blues record, and there was the Slash album, Slash Miles Kennedy and Conspirators album, the four. Gibson being a record company now, that is a danger. But you know, I don't think we'll see that connected with other companies or other bands unless they're being released on Gibson records, um, which very few will. Um, like we're talking a handful every year, maybe three or four a year. Um, but there's definitely like no coincidence that they want to be present everywhere you go when they have a new album out and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, I'd be a bit skeptical of it, but I know that there's been plans for this for new Slash models for at least a year. So maybe it's just coincidental. Also, you know, Slash has time off from touring right now from his main bands, so the plan I think was to have this blues thing come out in the summer anyway. Who knows? Who knows? Scott says I'd like to see a Slash reality show. Uh, I don't know if Slash is exciting anymore in his offstage life as he used to be. Maybe just it would be like his how much he's working and how much he tries to put bands and songs and stuff together with other people, because he works a lot and he works with a lot of different bands. He does a lot of appearances. He does a lot of collaborations with people. Apparently, he's very open to working with people, even if they're not like super big names and stuff like that. So yeah, and maybe it would be fun. I don't know. Muddy says that's enough flip flapping Reaper boy. You have questions to reply to. Um, all right, sir. Well, thank you for your super chat yet again. But I told you when I ended the Q&A, I can't access the questions, so there's no point in me trying to. But thanks, I think. Wait, no, they're not there. I thought I had the questions for a second. Thought I figured out how to get them. I did not. So never mind. Glenn says, hit those like buttons for peoples or I'll tell Marsha. I'm sure she's going to check herself. Marsha says, Slash played a black 335 frequently with Velvet Revolver. He also played his EDS 1275, his Guilds, his Mockingbird, he played Explorers, he played SGs. I know because I saw them live. And a bunch of Les Pauls. He plays lots and lots of guitars. Number one says, Scott, if it's like his Instagram, you'd have to be 18 plus. For sure. For sure. Right, guys, we are just about at the end of the show. So I'm going to do what I've had to do the last while and just try and get to the bottom of the chat. I don't think we're too far away, though, so we'll see how we get on. We didn't get to a lot of topics that have come up this week. Actually, maybe I am a little further away than I thought I was, but we still get through it and see, just make sure I get everybody who's in the chat. Let me see. Al says, so Slash is a money whore. Hey, Dave? I mean, I think they're all that way, to be honest, Al. I think all the aging rockers, I mean, they're still out there doing stuff for money. Then, yeah, of course. Let me see. We have, who else have we got? Alice makes a good point. I feel sorry for their employees, for Sam Ash. Yeah, it sucks, man. And honestly, like, since I've been having issues with Thomann for the first time ever, I feel like the news that a big guitar store closing is happening is bad news. We need guitar stores maybe a little bit more than ever before these days. Be sad to see them all go, but hey, we got to make the best of it. I don't know when Sam Ash is closing, or like I saw some guy say it was very soon. But hopefully you guys are getting some good deals, and hopefully they do well online, because I know they're going to be still going online. Eric number one, Eric Hensley, thank you so much, sir, with the super chats. Nice to see some fresh faces in the super chat department. Just gonna slip this in at the end. Well, thank you, sir. It is appreciated. Means a lot to me when you folks do such nice things for me, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you, both to you and Muddy. Glenn says, everything I learned about the facts of life I learned from watching Steel Panther videos. Me too, sir. Me too. Again, Muddy says, is this guy going to answer our submitted questions? They're not even there because I ended it and couldn't get into them. As I said, an issue with YouTube, not my fault, sir. But yeah, I said at the time, if you want to ask the question, just at Chord Dave, and clearly you weren't paying attention and you must have missed that. So I'm sorry. Let me see. Where are we now? Fister says, Muddy H2O, I hope so. I want to know where babies come from as well. Fister says, not to upset you, but Dave has no idea. He also has no idea how they're made. True. I've been trying to find that out, but I've been told I'm not mature enough to find out. So there you go. But thanks anyways. Richard says, my question is, why do girls have a pair of panties but only one bra? That's we can't get into that right now. If you'd asked that question early, we'd have spent the show talking about it. Marcia says, Nair is a famous brand chemical depilatory for removing hair. All right, well, I don't know if it's here. I've never heard of it, so I don't use that product, but no, or anything that would do such a thing. Anyway, there you go. Let me see. What else have we got? Is PRS guitar mash of Gibson and Fender? Long story short, Paul Reed Smith said that in order for his guitar company to be successful when he was starting out, he needed it to be the best parts of Gibson guitars, the best parts of Fender guitars, and that's what he was aiming for. I personally think he did a very good job because his guitars are cool. Slash would have had a black velvet 335 made when he was with them. Revolver, had a lot of cool stuff. Sam Ash is only giving 5% this week, says Al. There we go. Yeah, it's obviously can't shop with them, so I don't know. Will Slash's guitar have a fancy case with a custom interior like Billy Joe did? It's just, I think as far as I'm aware, it's a black case with a silver, not silver lining, like a gold fluffy interior, or yellow fluffy interior, if you like. But yeah, that is it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to Muddy for, just being himself. Thanks to number one for the super chat as well. And thanks to all you guys who have joined me in the thing. Hopefully we'll get that Q&A thing going another time. I'll try and see if I can figure out why it went wrong. But anyways, thanks again for joining me. It's been a cool one. I really like in the 90-minute structure. I think it works a lot better for me. So we're all good. Anyways, have a great week. Have a rocking week. If you pick up any new guitars, come back here and tell us about it next week. My name's Chord Dave. I'll be back in another guitar related video maybe soon. Take care.